Good evening, everyone.
Good evening,
Good
ma'am.
evening, ma'am.
Okay, we shall start with the revision of the chapter. We'll revise this chapter acid, bases, and salt in one go. Okay.
Yes,
Okay. Okay. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's start. And if you have any doubt, please interrupt me, and I'll solve it then and there. And if you find my speed to be slow or fast, then also you can tell me. This is a revision class, so I'll try to cover the whole chapter. So the speed will be a bit fast. So let us start with first acids. What are acids? So acid comes from the word acidus, which means sour. But acid has different definitions according to different theories. Before that, if it means sour, that is, the substances which contain acids, they are sour in taste. Now, can anyone tell me what acid is present in orange?
Citric acid, ma'am.
Yes,
Citric acid.
citric acid. In lemon,
Citric acid.
citric acid. Acid in apple,
Malic acid.
malic acid. Acid in tea, it's tannic acid. Acid in tomato,
Oxalic acid.
oxalic acid. Acid in curd,
Lactic acid.
Lactic acid.
Lactic acid.
lactic acid. And very important, acid in vinegar,
Acetic acid.
acetic acid.
Acetic acid.
Good. Acid in tamarind,
Tartaric acid.
tartaric acid.
Tartaric acid.
Acid in red ants,
Formic acid.
good.
Methanoic acid.
Formic acid in red ants. Okay. So I hope you remember all of these acids. These are very important. You can be asked in MCQ form.
Ma'am, is formic acid and methanoic acid same?
What is the formula of formic acid?
Ma'am, Ma'am, CH3.
This is formula of formic acid, and this is also called methanoic acid. Meth means
One.
one carbon, right? So one carbon is present in this acid, so this is also known as methanoic acid. Okay, so these are same.
Yes, ma'am.
So if we say formic acid in red ants, it's formic acid or methanoic acid, it's same. Okay, you can write any one of them. Okay, so have you studied the theories, Arrhenius base theory and Bronsted acid base theory?
Ma'am, as far I remember, ma'am, out of these two theories, acids which give OH minus, say, no, H substances which give H plus ion upon being dissolved in aqueous solution is called an
Yes,
acid.
yes. So we also call them Arrhenius acid base concept. According to this concept, what is acid and what is base? So Arrhenius, these are the names of scientists who gave us definition of acids and bases.
Ma'am,
So yes,
ma'am, would you also say, could you also say, ma'am, about Bronsted?
yes, we'll study Bronsted only, okay?
Okay.
Yes. So
Also, ma'am, could you
Arrhenius
just
acid,
show the previous page I'm writing?
okay. Is it done?
I'm just 1 minute.
Okay.
Complete, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, one more doubt I had, ma'am. And does milk
Yes,
also contain lactic acid?
if it contains acid, milk after turning into curd.
No, ma'am. Before milk,
Mm,
like,
y- yes.
will it have acid, ma'am, like lactic acid?
See, yes, it will have this acid also.
Okay, ma'am.
But it it is present when it sours. Does milk have sour taste?
No, ma'am.
So then it is not present. The lactobacillus acts and then converts and then forms the lactic acid and then forms the curd.
Okay,
That's
ma'am.
why curd have this sour taste. So to identify that whether there is acid present or not, the basic difference that we can identify from is its taste.
Yes, ma'am.
But we can say that acid is present in milk, but the sourness of milk is a bit, it is due to lactic acid and it becomes more when it is converted into curd. So when asked which acid is present, then you will write lactic acid only.
Okay, ma'am.
So we were studying about Arrhenius acid-base concept. So they gave definition of acid and base. So according to Arrhenius acid-base concept, acids are the compounds which give H plus ions, or what do we also call H plus ion as? Proton. On dissociation in water. So the definition of acids as per Arrhenius is these are the compounds which give H plus or protons on dissociation in water. For example, HCl when dissolved in water, we'll say it aqueous. It will give H plus plus Cl minus. Since HCl dissociated into H plus and Cl minus, that is, it gave H plus in the solution, so it will be acid. Similarly, we can say for base, these are the compounds which dissociate, which give hydroxide ions in water. The compounds which give OH negative or hydroxide ions on dissociation in water. So can you give me example of any compound which will give OH negative when we dissolve it in water? Anyone?
NaOH?
NaOH.
Yes, NaOH. It will dissociate to give Na plus plus OH minus. Since it gave OH minus, that's why it is base, and HCl gave H plus, that's why it is acid. So Arrhenius defined acid and base in terms of giving H plus or OH minus in dissociation in water. So is this definition clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Shall we move on to Bronsted concept? So now Bronsted Lowry theory of acids and bases. So they defined acid and bases as acids are the substances that can release proton. So this is similar to Arrhenius acid only. But here the definition of base is different. Base are the substances that can accept a proton. Why this theory was brought into picture? Because, for example, NH3. We say NH3 ammonia. This is a base. Can we define it as per the Arrhenius concept? Will this give OH minus in any way in dissolving in water? So Arrhenius concept cannot define these kind of bases. But what Bronsted and Lowry theory explained that NH3, when dissolved in water, it gave NH3, NH4 plus plus OH minus. That is, it accepted one H plus from H2O and formed NH4 plus. Since NH3 gained this H plus, that is, it accepted a proton, it will be base. Here, example of acid can again be HCl, which on dissolving with water will form plus and Cl minus. This is hydronium ion. This is similar to H plus ion only. You can write H plus or H3O plus. H plus is unstable in water because this get combines with water is present in the container, right? So this H plus combines with this oxygen, which has delta negative charge, and H plus has positive charge. So this results in formation of OH3 plus, and this is this hydronium ion. So we can write H plus also or H3O plus also. In solution, H plus acts as H3O plus because H plus is unstable. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we can classify acid on basis of various things. For example, first we'll classify acids on basis of elements present in the acid. They can be of two types. First, oxy acid. Oxy acids are the acids that contain both hydrogen and oxygen. That is, if oxy is written, that is, oxygen is present in the acid. Example, HNO3 or nitric acid. This is hydrogen as well as oxygen, and it is an acid. Another example can be HCl, sorry, H2SO4. That is sulfuric acid. It also has hydrogen as well as oxygen. Another example can be H3PO4 or phosphoric acid. It also has hydrogen and oxygen. So when both oxygen and hydrogen are present in the acid, then it is example of oxy acid. Another type is hydra acid. Hydra acid, these are the acids which contain hydrogen and some other non-metallic element. Example, HCl, HCN. These are example of hydra acids. Here we have hydrogen and some non-metallic element. Then we can divide acid on the basis of whether they are natural, how they occur in the nature. For example, organic acids, and mineral acids. The main thing that differentiates them that these are present in normal food that we eat. These acids are contained in food. For example, tamarind had tartaric acid. So tartaric acid is example of organic acid. Malic acid also example of organic acid. So these are weak acids which do not harm us. Since they are present in our food, we can eat food. So these are some weak acids. For example, tartaric acid and malic acid. These are example of organic acids.
Ma'am,
But
can
there are some,
organic
yes,
organic
yes,
acids be obtained from all the natural resources like the methanoic acid and all these?
yes. The acids which are present, for example, the acid present in lemon, acid present in apple, acid present in mango, all these acids are organic acids, naturally occurring. Though mineral acids are also there, but these are present in rocks. These are inorganic acids. For example, HCl, H2SO4, the acids which we use in laboratory. HNO3. These are inorganic acids. So organic acids and inorganic acids. Then there is another concept also, concentrated and dilute acids. So acid may be concentrated or dilute depending upon the amount of acid which is present in the solution. For example, when we take larger amount of acid but less amount of water in that, then it is concentrated acid. But on dilution, what we do in the process of dilution, we add more water to it, and then a time comes when the acid is less and the water is more, and water is a very high in amount as compared to the acid. Then it is dilute acid. Concentrated acids are harmful. Dilute acids are also harmful, but comparatively, they are not as harmful as concentrated acids. If we study the concept of strong acid and weak acid, so what was the definition of acid? We studied that it can give a H plus ion in when dissociated in water. So if the amount of H plus ion given by the acid is more when dissolved in water, so then it is called strong acid. So strong acids are the acid which provide more amount of H plus ions when dissolved in water. While weak acids are the acids which provide less amount of H plus ions when dissolved in water. Can anyone give me example of weak acid?
CH3COH, acetic acid.
Yes. CH3COH gives CH3CO minus plus H plus. So it is not completely dissociated. This acid is incompletely dissociated. That is less number of H plus form. If this acetic acid dissociates less, that is, forms less number of hydrogen, so we can say that this is example of weak acid. Another example of weak acid is carbonic acid, that is H2CO3. So acetic acid and carbonic acid are example of weak acid. Then HCl, H2SO4 and HNO3. These are example of strong acid. So have you studied the concept of conjugate acid and conjugate base?
No, ma'am.
You are not taught that in the class. Okay,
No, ma'am.
okay then. So next we will study basicity of an acid.
Basicity we were taught, ma'am.
Yes. So the basicity of an acid is the number of replaceable hydrogen atoms present in the molecule of the acid. It is number of replaceable hydrogen atoms present in a molecule of the acid. For example, in HCl, there is one hydrogen present which we can dissociate into H plus and Cl minus. Only this hydrogen can be replaced with some another ion. For example, we can form it NaCl, KCl. So the idea was to give that how many number of hydrogens it can release when it dissociates into ions. So one hydrogen is released by HCl. So this will be known as monobasic acid. So HCl is example of monobasic acid. Next if we say H2SO4. So H2SO4 is monobasic, dibasic, or tribasic. H2SO4. H2SO4 can give us 2H plus and SO4 2 minus. So H2SO4 is dibasic and its basicity is 2. Di for 2, mono for 1, and tri for 3. Now H3PO4, that is phosphoric acid. What is the basicity of H3PO4? Yes. What is the basicity for H3PO4?
Tribasic.
It is tribasic.
Yes, it's tribasic and basicity is 3. When asked about basicity, it's 3 and it is a tribasic acid. Now HNO3, what is the basicity of HNO3? Yes,
Monobasic.
yes, it's monobasic and basicity is 1. Okay. So now we'll see some general properties of acids.
Excuse me, ma'am, I'm still writing.
Okay.
Peter, ma'am.
Okay. So first property that we discussed was that they are sour in taste. This is the very important property of acid. Then they turn blue litmus paper into red. Remember, blue litmus paper to red. Blue to red is for acid. Then, for example, we take this. What is this compound? I have written this formula. You must have studied it. What I have written formula of which
Glucose.
compound? Yes, glucose.
Glucose.
Does it have hydrogen? It has hydrogen, right?
Yes, ma'am. It has hydrogen.
So is it acid? Is glucose acid? Because whatever compounds we studied, HCl, HNO3, all of them has acid, and they were all of them had hydrogen, and they were acid.
No, ma'am, it is
So,
not acid.
so it is not acid. Why?
Ma'am, it does not give H plus.
Yes, because when C6H12O6 dissolved in water, it did not give H plus ions. It did not release H plus ion in the solution. So what is the third property of acid? That is, acids show acidic properties when they release H plus ions, and that too, now I say dry HCl. We conducted an experiment where HCl gas was released, dry HCl in gas form, and we brought a dry litmus paper towards it, blue litmus. Will it turn into red?
No, ma'am.
No, because what HCl needs, it needs water to dissociate into H plus and Cl minus. So acids show acidic property only in presence of water. The third property of acid is acids show acidic property only in presence of water. So if there is question that is will dry HCl convert blue litmus into red, the answer will be no, and the reason will be because acid need water to dissociate into H plus and Cl minus, and then only acidic property will be shown by HCl. Okay, shall we move on to next slide?
Completed,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. Then next property is that they conduct electricity. Acids conduct electricity. Acids in water were forming these ions. If there are ions in the solution, that's why they can conduct electricity. Okay, so rest of the properties we'll do in next class. If you have any doubt till now, you can ask. Anyone?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So thank you everyone. I have next class at 6:45, so I have to leave. Thank you everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.